Hey Husky Nation, Kirsten Krull here, ready to recap you on this previous week in Huskies athletics and to get you ready for all the action in this week's weekend warm-up. Let's head over to the gridiron and take a look at the matchup between St. Cloud and Minot. Huskies back at home trying to snap their 4-game losing streak as they take on Minot State. First quarter, Minot hands it off to Ali Mohammed and he muscles his way into the end zone. Beavers strike first, up 7-0. Final seconds in the quarter, Lawhorn finds an open Dar Washington, game tied up at 7. In the second, St. Cloud State down by 3, and that changes after Joe Blando finds his way past the goal line. That puts the Huskies up 14-10. Jumping to the fourth, Huskies sending everyone on the punt, and Zach Stecklin lays out and blocks it, and Devin Vogt recovers it. St. Cloud State up 24-13, and the Huskies put it away for good as Lawhorn connects for his second touchdown pass as he finds Dar Washington for the 55-yard touchdown reception. That's his second of the game, and the Huskies go on to win against Minot 31-19, and they snap their 4-game losing streak. The swim and dive team this weekend traveled to Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and day one was exclusively a diving event. Dorothy, Stone, Brinkman, and Machiski placed in the top 4 spots, while Infante placed third in both the 1 and 3 meter dive for the men. The next day, the Huskies had top finishes in 26 of the 31 events that day. David Clossy and Russ Island finishing first in the 1,000 meter. The Huskies beat the Blue Dogs 384-214, and they'll travel to St. Paul next week for the St. Thomas Invites. The wrestling team had their first official duel of the season as they traveled to Troy, New York, and the Empire State Building wasn't the only sight to see as the Huskies showed how dominant they are. The Huskies started the day by taking on American International, and didn't the Yellow Jackets score a point, beating AIC with a score of 54-0. The second duel had the Huskies taking on the Mountain Cats of Pittsburgh Johnstown, picking up another win with a final score of 31-6. And those 6 points were the only points they gave up because the Huskies wrapped up the day with another perfect win as the Cardinal and Black beat the Wildcats of Johnson and Wales University 43-0. The Huskies came into this week ranked number 8 overall and proved they are a resilient team in a week-long homestand versus 3 NSIC foes. They started off the week with a 3-set sweep as the Crookston Golden Eagles came to Hollenbeck Hall. The next challenger proved much tougher as Minnesota State Mavericks took the Huskies to 5 sets and eventually took the win in the final set. The final game of the week was a thriller as 6th-ranked Concordia St. Paul tried to stay unbeaten all time versus St. Cloud. 5 sets later, the Huskies showed their strength and won to finish off a long week at home. The Huskies continued their winning streak on the pitch after 3-0 victory against Minnesota Duluth. Claire Shea opened up the match with a goal in the 9th minute with the assist coming in by Jenna Dominguez. Monica Majeski expanded the lead with a goal at 22nd minute with an assist by Claire Shea. Huskies going into halftime with a 2-0 lead against the Bulldogs. To close up the game, Carly Ekstrom scored her first goal of the season with St. Cloud in the 75th minute. Zoe Welsh getting her 8th shutout on this year, which ranked 2nd in the team records for the most shutouts in a season, ending their regular season with an 11-4-3 overall record. St. Cloud will now advance to the first round of the NSIC tournament as they play the number 5 seed at 3 p.m. on Wednesday, November 13th. The Huskies will travel to Bemidji State, which earned the tournament's number 4 seed. With conference championships settling a couple weeks ago, cross country was set for the NCAA Central Region Championships this weekend. St. Cloud as a team finished 14th overall out of 32 teams. In large part to senior Chrissy Lofgren, the NSIC first teamer finished with a time of 21:49, which was good for a 16th place finish. Lofgren will now play the waiting game as she hopes for an NCAA Championships invite. Over to the hardwood, the men's basketball team finally got some action at the GAC Conference Challenge where they took on Ouachita Baptist University. The Huskies fell in Friday's game 56-51 with Trayvon Marshall leading St. Cloud in scoring with 16. Freshman Anthony Roberts had a solid game in his first start, scoring 10 and adding 4 blocks along with that. In Saturday's game versus Harding University, it was another nail-biter as the Cardinal and Black led by just 1 at half. A back-and-forth second half made for an incredible game, and with just a couple seconds left, Marshall would drive to the bucket to get a good look, but it wouldn't go at the buzzer. St. Cloud drops both to start the season. Now taking a look at the women's team as they had their home opener of the 2019 season, and they tipped off against Valley City State. It was a back-and-forth match in the first half as the Huskies would take a 35-34 lead going into halftime. And after the half, the Huskies would be clicking on all cylinders as they would pull away from the Vikings and would outscore them 46-23 in the second half to win 81-57. Tori Wartz led the team in scoring with 15 points. Nikki Kilbotton also added on 14 points along with a dominant shooting performance with going 7-9 from the field along with 6 rebounds. Also in double digits were Katrina Tice with 13 points and senior Madeline Dahman with 12 points. Kicking things off, later today the women's soccer team heads to Bemidji for the first round of the NSIC tournament. Men's and women's swim and dive competes in the St. Thomas Invite. Women's volleyball is on the road as they take on Winona State in Upper Iowa. Women's hockey travels to Lindenwood University for a 2-game set. Football wraps up their season against Minnesota State Moorhead this Saturday with kickoff set for 1 o'clock at Husky Stadium. And finally, the men's hockey team opens up NCHC conference play as they welcome in Colorado College. Friday night's game is set for a 7:37 puck drop with Saturday's face-off set for 6:07. That's going to do it for this week's weekend warm-up. We'll see you back here next time, Husky Nation.